Welcome to the second topic of the Unit 1. We have for the topic 2, Understanding the Art. What is art? Okay, so we can say that art is the lifeblood of humanities because it conveys one's feelings and expressions in, as we have mentioned in our previous discussion in topic 1, to feel human, you have to express. You have to express your emotions, you have to express your feelings, or you have to feel. Okay? So, yun, we can say that art is the lifeblood of humanities because it is through art where we can express our feelings and expressions or whatever ideas that we have. So, basically, art is the essential factor which motivates an individual to create and appreciate something beautiful. So it is art that motivates someone to create something beautiful, to appreciate something beautiful, and that beautiful is what we can call art. But before we formally discuss art, let us look at that etymological meaning as well as the different meanings of art given by experts, given by different type of people from different field of disciplines. Etymologically speaking, or the etymological definition of art is that it is derived from the Latin word ars, meaning ability or skill. So, mula siya sa Latin term na ars, na ang ibig sabihin ay ability or skill. So, it is from an Italian term, artis. Artis defines as human or skill. Okay? So, that is the etymological meaning of art. Diyan nagsimula yung origin ng term na art. Further, Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary defines art as the conscious use of skill and creative imagination, especially in the production of aesthetics objects. So, ito yung meaning ng art sa Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. Conscious use of skill and creative imagination, especially in the production of aesthetic objects. When we say aesthetics, something that is pleasing or appealing to one's, it can be one's sense of smell, sense of sight, or sense of feeling. So, conscious use of creativity and skill and imagination in producing an object that is aesthetically pleasing. Now, let us move on to the different ways that art was defined by writers and philosophers. So, first, we have here the definition of Henry Miller. Henry Miller is an American writer, and he defined art as this one: art teaches nothing except the significance of life. So, wala daw ibang tinuturo yung art kundi kung gaano importante ang life. Okay? Art teaches nothing but the significance of life. So, ibig sabihin, art teaches how important life is. The definition of the Greek philosopher Aristotle. For him, art is higher type of knowledge than experience. So, as the common saying, experience is the best teacher daw, di ba? But this time, for Aristotle, there's something higher knowledge than experience, which is the art. As for the French dramatist Jean Anouilh, or Anouilh, hindi ko alam paano bigkasin yung apelido niya, no? Basta isa siyang French dramatist. So for him, he defined art as the object. The object of art is to give life a shape. So, para sa kanya, ang pinaka-purpose daw ng art is to give our lives shape. So, ano ibig sabihin ng shape? So, nagkakaroon ng purpose. Parang gano'n. Nagkakaroon ng meaning yung life natin because of art. So, for this French dramatist, yun yung interpretation or yun yung definition niya ng art. Then we have here the definition of Oscar Wilde, an Irish poet and playwright of art. So for him, art is the most intense mood of individualism that the world has known. So art daw is the most is one of the best way to celebrate individualism. Yung sa individualism, nandiyan na yung pagkilala natin sa sarili natin, pagpapahalaga natin sa sarili natin. So, for him, it is through art where we can really appreciate, where we can really express our self as a human. And lastly, we have here Frank Lloyd Wright. He is an American architect, interior designer, writer, and also an educator. So for him, art is a discovery and development of elementary principles of nature into beautiful forms suitable for human use. So for Frank Lloyd Wright, he emphasized the function of art. He emphasized how art can be used by human for their benefit, for their convenient. So, obvious naman sa profession niya, isa siyang architect at isa siyang interior designer. So, obviously, very inclined siya sa art which is functional, no? Kasi suitable for human use. Discovery, development of principle of nature. Then turning it into something that is suitable or something that will benefit the human or human beings. So yun, ang di-emphasize niya dito is yung functionality ng art. So let us move on to the discussion of the assumptions about art. Art is everywhere. Your surroundings, your home, personal care, your clothing, your body are all reflections of how you see and express yourself. And these are also all product of art. The moment you wake up, you decide to choose what to wear, or you decide to clean your room and arrange everything, organize things. Those are art, okay? Your clothings, the design of your house, almost everything around you is art, byproduct or of art or art itself. Other assumptions about art is that art is not nature. It is not nature because art is man-made. Gawa ng tao ang art. It is the creature of man that may reflect a profound skillfulness and craftsmanship. Art can never be natural because nature is evanescent. When we say evanescent, temporary. Okay? There will come a time that nature will vanish. So, in constant transformation, or it will change, while art is permanent. So, art will never be nature. Though art could be inspired by nature, but it will never be nature itself. Okay? Because again, art is man-made and nature is God-made. So that's the big difference between art and nature. So again, art is not nature. Next, we have this assumption that art is imitating and creating. Creation in art is the act of combining or reordering already existing materials so that new objects will be formed. So, an artist only copies or kinokopya lang ng artist yung existing sa nature na for him will help him to express his thoughts and feelings. So again, an artist only copies the things in nature he believes would express his thought and feelings. So art is a process of imitating which involves personal assimilation through mind, feeling, and style. Art perfects nature. Artists only enhance things that they like and eliminate the undesirable elements in nature to convey their message of beauty and love, to convey their emotions, or to convey their feelings. Art is universal. In every country and in every generation, there is always art. Oftentimes, people feel that what is considered artistic are only those which have been made long time ago. So this is a misconception. Age is never a factor in determining art. An art is not good because it is old, but old because it is good, according to Dudley. In the Philippines, the works of Jose Rizal and Francisco Balagtas are not being read because they are old. Florante at Laura never fails to teach high school students the beauty of love, one that is universal and pure. Ibunga Darna, another Filipino masterpiece, has always captured the imagination of the youth with its timeless lessons. So when we write some poems, we feel one with the poet or the writer. When we listen to some song or when we watch some performances, we still enjoy the way they were enjoyed by people before us. Okay? So while away their time in the past. So art is universal. Art is timeless because it goes beyond the time of our existence. It is present in every corner of the world to serve basic needs of mankind from ancient time to modern world. Further, art is timeless because it is continually evolves. Aside from artists birthing new artworks, creating new artworks, they also never stop innovating, recreating, reinventing, and reviving works of art. So art defines time. In watching film, for example, even when you do not have the idea when a specific movie was created, the style of directing and filming, the clothing and bearing of the characters, musical scoring, and the setting and the plot of the story would make the viewers guess the period when it was produced. So while art defines time, time also defines art. So it identifies the artwork that would click in a particular time for the particular audience. Aside from the assumptions about arts that we have discussed, other universally accepted ideas about arts are the following. So first we have art as expression and communication. Art has grown out of man's need to express himself. Expression is limited to the revelation of emotion alone. So the personal and social values of the artist and his penetrating psychological insight into human reality are also conveyed through arts. So the artist uses symbols which he organizes into some comprehensible equivalent of the experience that he is trying to convey. So if the symbols are understood by his audience, the communication has been established. So we have an example here. So this is an editorial about the current situation of education in our country. So as you can see in this editorial is a form of art, no? So as you can see, art here is used as an expression and in communicating an idea. So the creator of this editorial tries to express or tries to communicate what is the current situation of the Philippine education in this time of pandemic. So as you can see here, merong turtle which represents the internet connection, and nakasakay doon sa turtle is yung student na nag-online class, ano? So sa likod ng turtle may nagpupush doon na hand, pushing the turtle to move, which is yun yung DepEd. Then sa front naman ng turtle, merong nagpupull, which is yung teachers, no? So it expresses or it communicates an idea. So I think alam nyo na yan, and I think na-gets nyo na ano yung ibig ipahiwatig or ano yung gustong i-communicate ng artist dito sa editorial na ito, no? Kasi kayo din, you personally experience this type of dilemma. The internet connection, very slow. Nahihirapan kayong sa online class because yun nga, slow yung internet connection, but still pinupush ng education system natin. And of course, hindi lang kayo nahihirapan kasi ang pinaka nahihirapan in this situation is yung teachers na humihila para lang ma-push through, para lang maitawid yung education ng mga student. So this is an example of art as an expression and communication. Another idea or belief about art is that art and experience are related. Kung matatandaan natin yung definition ni Aristotle, art is higher knowledge than experience, no? So there are actually three major kinds of experience that are involved in an artistic activity. First, that it starts as an experience which the artist want to communicate. So may reason kung bakit si Taylor Swift ang background ng slide na ito. Okay? So the three kinds of experience that involve in artistic activities, that yun nga, it starts as an experience which yung artist gusto niyang i-communicate. Second, the act of expressing this experience, that is creating the art object or form. Third is when the work is done, there is the artist's gratifying experience of having accomplished something significant. So sa tingin nyo, bakit si Taylor Swift ang background? If you are a Swiftie, like me, someone na fan ni Taylor Swift, alam nyo kung saan nanggagaling yung mga kanta niya. Kung papaano niya nasusulat. Again, music is an art, no? So, you will know bakit magaganda yung song niya or very relatable. Kasi her songs are all based on her experiences in life. No, so art and experience is somehow inseparable. There's always an experience that is conveyed in art, and artist also uses their experiences to create art. No? So on the part of the onlooker or listener, they may also experience something similar doon sa na-experience ng artist through the artwork na produce. So this includes sensory, emotional, and intellectual responses. So yun, that is the reason why I've used this background for this discussion. Of course, we have also art and beauty. A thing of beauty is one which gives us pleasure when we perceive it, when we see it, when we feel it, when we experience it. So the delight that we experience is what we call aesthetic pleasure. So example, itong dalawang background natin, so very aesthetically pleasing sila, 'di ba? No? So beauty in terms of art refers to an interaction between line, color, texture, the sound, the shape, motion, and size that is pleasing to the senses. No? So, in these two images, of course, we can say that they are aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. No? So, paano pa kaya kung nandoon ka na mismo doon sa picture? So, I think it will be aesthetically pleasing then sa in our sense of feeling. So sometimes beauty is not the ultimate goal of the artist. So art is often intended to appeal to and connect with human emotion. So these examples or these images somehow appeals to our emotions, 'di ba? Appeals to our feelings. So it appeals to the feeling of yun, very relaxing and calming na how we wish nandoon tayo sa picture na ito kasi they're very aesthetically pleasing, no? So, artists may express something so their audience is stimulated in some way. So, gusto nila yung audience nila, yung magpo-perceive or makakakita ng artwork nila is may maramdaman din. So, katulad dito sa photos na ito. No? So, photography is an art. Remember that. So, they want to create feelings. They want to, they want their audience to feel curious or to feel creative like that. So for example, we also have an example like in performance art. Performance art often does not aim to please the audience, but instead, they aim to evoke feelings, reactions, conversations, or questions for the viewer. So in these cases, aesthetics may be an irrelevant measure of beautiful art. So again, sa art, hindi always beauty yung goal ng artist. So somehow, their main goal is to connect with the viewers, with their audience, with their listeners, and to make their listeners feel something. No? So, that is how art and beauty is interconnected. Okay? It takes an artist to make art. One may perceive beauty on a daily basis. However, not every beautiful thing can be seen or experienced may truly be called a work of art. Art is a product of man's creativity, imagination, and expression. So not everyone can be considered an artist, but everyone are spectators of art. We are able to distinguish what is fine and beautiful from what is not, and what is good quality from poor. So this gives us a role in the field of art appreciation.